Hey Kim, I've been thinking about this ever since last night, and remember you asking me what you thought what I thought you ought to do, or maybe vice versa. Anyway, I was kind of distraught last night because I just hate that you have to go through all of this whenever we thought it was going to be so much quicker of an ordeal. But unfortunately, this is just the nature of the beast with these restorations. But to get to the point, I know you gave me $144 for the metal materials last night, and a couple ideas I'd like to throw at you. I'll tell you the one that I think is the best, but will take more time to fix. And that is to buy a whole 4-pan for it. Now, the money you give me for the materials, I'll just pretend like I bought the materials, and I'll use them for another project, and then whatever this 4-pan costs, you give me the difference. So let's just throw a wild number out there. If it costs, say, $550 or $600 to buy everything, subtract what you've already given me from that amount, and then that's just what you would need to give me extra, and we'll buy it. And we're probably going to need more welding gas before long, because I've used about 2/3 of what we bought last time when finishing welding up the back stuff and the bottom of the rocker panel and some other things that I had to do. But anyway, I'll show you why I think we need to replace the whole thing. There's that rust hole there. And it's probably hard to see because of all the junk on here, but there are little pits all in the metal that are rust pits that guy just buried up with undercoating or a bed liner or black spray paint. I don't know what he's used. And then he put all that foam siding here over the top of it, or that foam insulation stuff, and that just helped cover it up even more, and you never would have knew. But this 4, I don't know if you can see it, it flexes quite a bit, more than it should. This up here doesn't flex like that at all. So that's weak. That side over there, just from a quick visual inspection, doesn't look as bad. But we've got that over there. It's same, it's pitted and thin and flimsy. This area here, this whole side was just a mess, and I had to cut it all the way out. And as you can see right up there, I can get the camera up there, where that silver line across there is, I ground part of it out. There's still some rust pits in there. That is good and strong because that's a double layer piece of metal where the toe board of the 4-pan meets the firewall. Most cars, the firewall doesn't ever rust out, and luckily this one hasn't. But as you can see right there, there's a rust hole there, and then all them pits are in it that are brown. That's thin areas where it's getting ready just to rust through again. So the 4-pan overlaps all the way up to here. This is your inner rocker. That's the outer rocker. And then, as you already know, on the passenger side, we'll replace this. This side's good, we don't have to worry about it. This part here is good. So that's my first suggestion, is to buy the whole 4-pan and just replace it. The whole 4-pan will go all the way from where that silver line is I showed you up there, where I cut it, all the way back to back here. And it will come with the new hooks for the seat braces, which these are all bent up. Also, another thing I think is a positive about getting a whole new 4-pan is the transmission tunnel will be right for an automatic, and we don't have to mess with or worry about whatever we got to do with that standard hole there. I don't know if you've seen it in the other video, but down inside there, that big old notch is cut out. That's weakened this thing quite a bit. That's where I guess they made room for the shifter rods to go through on the 4-speed. And also right there, that's where, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little bitty line there. That's where he cut through. And right below that, you can see that hole right under my finger there. That's where the bolts go that hold the transmission in. That absorbs a lot of torque. So that thing needs to be strong. I can weld that no problem. I can get some pieces of thick metal. I've got some around here that I can cut, shape, and put into that piece where that notch is missing. You get that welded and grind it smooth and it'll look alright. Now, the second suggestion is, which I think either one's probably going to take the same amount of time, is to buy the whole halves of each side of the whole 4-pin. You're looking at about $200 per side there, from what I remember, versus $460 for a whole 4-pin. But if you do that, then you look at it and it looks like it's all factory. It doesn't look like it's been cut up and butchered and stitched back together with a welder. I'll let you make the call on it and you tell me what you think. Like I said, this has been eating at me and I didn't know what to do. I've been trying to be thinking about it, and at first, I told you if it was my car and I wasn't worried about the way the bottom looked, I just use patch panels. But that side over there was small, and that wasn't a problem. And then I found this little rust hole, and that's small. But that is all thin and flimsy. The same way over there is thin and flimsy. And this side here is just a big hole and a mess. And trying to get that shaped and making it look as close to factory and also making the carpet fit right begins to be a challenge, and I think it's just going to take less work. And the other big factor is that transmission tunnel. We don't know exactly what to do with the hole, because that guy from the Tony's Mopar, he's a big Mopar guy. Everybody in the Mopar industry knows him. I mean, if you don't know him, you don't know much about Mopars. He used to work at the Mopar dealership years ago selling parts, and he knows every part number off the top of his head like you wouldn't believe. But he told me that there is a difference in the location of the shifter between the standard and the automatic. So that being said, that's what I think is the best thing to do, is buy a whole 4-pin. So I'll look up the price, find out what shipping is on it and everything, and I'll buy it and you can send me the money, as quick as you can. If it takes you a week or whatever, that's fine. But let me see. I'm guessing the total price is going to be, with shipping and everything, about $550 to $600 for a whole 4-pin. And then we're going to need another bottle of gas, which is $50. Let me look at my welding wire here and see where the situation is on that. I've still got a decent amount of welding wire there. I don't think we've used probably a little over half of what was there. So, subtract $144 from $600, and I think that's what we're looking at. And that's just an estimation until I look for sure. So, like I said, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's what I think is the best thing to do. And unfortunately, this is going to take me some time. And again, I'm not complaining, but we're looking at 40 hours here just to cut this thing out, get it all prepped, weld it back in, grind all the welds down again, prime it, seam seal it, undercoat it, all that good stuff. I've talked to about 5 different guys that are in the auto body industry and have worked at Mopar dealerships. One guy said that he does this on his own for a living, and he's probably done 75 to 100 of these 4-pins in Mopars. And he said you're looking at 35 to 40 hours of labor. And so that's the deal there. So I'll let you watch this. I know it's a long video. Let me know what you think.